In the September 2023 exams, in the subject Basic Finance as examined by the Zambia Institute of Marketing, students were expected to do two things. Number one, to prepare the statement of profit or loss, and number two, to prepare the statement of financial position. In this video, I'm going to show you how students could have approached those two particular activities and gotten exactly 20 marks. I am going to show you what a student needed to have done. So this is going to be helpful if you did not pass that paper and you're repeating, or it is the first time that you're taking the subject Basic Finance. My name is Savoy and I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Captain37. I also invite you to follow and like my Facebook page, Marketing Study in Zambia. So let's proceed to talk about what the student needed to do in answering the first part of question 2, which was A, and which required students to prepare a statement of profit or loss. The starting point all the time is to indicate the name of the account you're dealing with. If the name of the account is not given, then you can simply say name of account. But in this particular case, we are given it is Chola. And what is it that we're preparing? We are preparing the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31 December 2022. What we start with when preparing a statement, this statement, is to take note of sales. And in this particular case, we are told that the sales amounted to 839,400. 839,400. But take note that despite this being our initial sales, we are told that some of these sales were returned. So we have sold some items and they are returned. And that's why we have got sales returns. This sales returns is provided in the trial balance, which is provided on the exam. So we need to take note of the sales returns, which was 16,200. In fact, what I could do here is I could indicate that we are subtracting sales returns. And this is it from this amount. We are going to subtract this amount from this amount. And what is this going to give us? I'll pull out the calculator and do the calculation. So it is 839,400 minus 16200. This is going to give us 823,200. 823,200, which is what I'm going to type right over here. It is going to be 823,200. So this is the amount that's going to be indicated, reflecting our sales less sales returns. The next thing is we are going to go to indicate our opening inventory. Opening inventory. And we are told that the opening inventory, I'll put it right over here, that the opening inventory is 51,600. The opening inventory is 51,600. What are we going to do next? We are going to add purchases. We are going to add purchases. And we're told that the purchase amount is how much? The purchases amount is 448,000. 448,000. That is the purchases amount. We need to take note of carriage inward. Carriage inwards. What is carriage inwards? It refers to how much we're going to spend to bring the products that we have purchased to ourselves. Transportation costs. And we are told that it is 9,200. 9,200. We have another item relating to purchases, and that is purchase returns. Purchase returns. I don't know why I keep on typing that. Purchase returns like that. Purchase returns. And we need to subtract the purchase returns. We've been told that it is 11,400. 11,400. So what does purchase returns mean? It means that we may have purchased some goods, but then the quality or the sizes was not exactly what we desired. We therefore return some of those particular purchases. So maybe we got 10,000 and we take back 2,000. In this particular case, what we took back amounts to 11,400. Is that it? No. We calculate. What does this give us? What does this give us? When we add this to this and add this and subtract this, what does it give us? We can proceed and do that particular calculation. That is one of the options that a student has. However, I'll need you to take note of closing stock. Closing stock. And what I recommend is you can just simply indicate here that it is less closing stock because you always subtract that. Because we are subtracting that, we just simply do that. Less closing stock, which is 25,740. 25,740. Now, this information is going to be given to you on the exam. It was given on this particular exam, and should a similar question come in future, this information is provided. You as a student, you are required to prepare the documents based on the information that is provided. We now proceed and calculate this plus this plus this plus this plus this. What does it give us? Look, I am using Excel, and so I would easily prepare a formula to show you how it's done. But because you don't have such kind of luxury on the exam, you will use a normal calculator, and so let's calculate it here. There's 51,600 plus 448,000 plus 92,000 minus 11,400 minus 25,740. This gives us 471,660. 471,660. That amount, we are going to indicate it right over here. And it was 471,660. 471,660. We then subtract this amount from the cells. We subtract this amount from the cells. Using your calculator, what does it give you? What is the difference between this and this? What I find is that the difference is 351,540. 351,540. What did you find as a difference? This is what I found. And this amount is what is referred to as the gross profit. This amount is what is referred to as the gross profit. Are we done? Not yet. Because in the trial balance, it is indicated that we received a discount. Whenever you receive a discount, you need to add that to the gross profit. Add discount received. And the amount that we received for a discount was 1,860. 1,860. So what we do, we add this 1,860 to this 351,540. We add these two, and what does it give us? It gives us 353,400. 353,400. Are we done? No, not yet. But we have laid a very strong foundation. What we need to do now is we need to proceed and take note of expenses. Expenses. And we can identify the expenses from the trial balance. We can identify the expenses from the trial balance. What are these amounts that the business incurred? There are a number of them. One of them is carriage outward. Carriage outward. Carriage outward is the exact opposite of carriage inward. In this case, these are amounts that we are spending to take the products to reach the customers. A customer has bought from us and we are shipping the products to the customer. We will incur a cost called carriage outward. And in this particular case, we are told that it is 3,000 kwacha. What else? We gave a discount. Discount allowed, okay? And how much was the discount that we gave? It was 2,800. So we need to take note of that as well. 2,800. We also need to take note of our rent. And how much was rent? It was 34,800. 34,800. Then we have got bad debt written off. Bad debt written off. Bad debt is amounts of money that as a business we cannot recover, and we are told that it is 2,500. What other expenses do you notice from the trial balance? There is wages. And wages amount to how much? They amount to 178,000. 178,000. Other expenses include general offices expenses. General offices expenses. It amounts to 9,000 kwacha. Is that it? No, we still have other expenses. Provision for bad debt. That too is an expense, and we are told it is 1,910. 1,910. Other expenses include depreciation. And depreciation, like you already know, it is the loss of value over a period of time. So there's depreciation. There's depreciation of what? There's depreciation of motor vehicles. Is this a spelling for vehicles? And how much is the depreciation for motor vehicles? We were told that it is 20%. 20% of the value of the motor vehicle. So we'll get the calculator and we'll do 20% multiply by the value of the motor vehicle, which was 95,440. 95,440. This gives us 19,088 kwacha, and that's what we're going to write here. 19,088 kwacha. 19,088 kwacha, like this. The other depreciation is that of the machinery. And when we do the calculation, the depreciation for the machinery is going to come to 9,600. It's going to come to 9,600. What we can do at this particular point is we can indicate here that we have accrued wages. And these were how much? This was 2,520. 2,520. Just like that. Just add it. If it is an accrual, simply add it. Every time it is an accrual, remember an accrual is an increment, therefore add it. There was also an increase, an accrued increase in what? An accrued increase in general office expenses. General office expenses. Oops, am I going to have enough space? Let's see. Expenses. Okay, so I'm just going to move this to make it much more presentable and to make sure that we have space. So accrued general office expenses came to 1,200. So equally, we'll add. With accruals, you always add. Are we done? No. Let's move this up. There are some other actions that we need to perform based on the additional information that was given. We are told that the rates prepaid, that's obviously for rent, the rates prepaid 31st December 2022 was 7,400. 7,400. Let's now turn to rent prepaid. Rent prepaid, and we are told that the rent prepaid is 7,400. And whenever there is prepayment, what you do is you subtract. Whenever there's a prepayment, what you do is you subtract. Next is this, which I really want you to pay attention to. Back to this particular amount for provision of bad debt. This was the increased amount, the 5% of the trade receivables. 5% of the trade receivables. The question is, what was there before? What was there before? And what was there before is, we know it was 1,700. So there has been an increase. There has been an increase in the provision, okay, in the provision for bad debt. So the increase is between this and 1,700. 1,700. Ideally, it is a difference of 210. So it is this minus that, which gives us 210, or the way we have written it like this. This is it. Now what we're going to do is we are going to calculate our total expenses. Total expenses, which is really a sum of all these. And we are going to write it here in the same column as the gross profit so that we can calculate the net profit. So when you put all these together, what does it give you? It gives me 255,318. 255,318. This is the total expenses, meaning all these expenses incurred put together, they give us 255,318. 255,318. We now subtract this amount from this amount here to find our net profit. To find our net profit, like that. Okay, so our net profit is this amount. We subtract this amount, and it's going to be 98,082. 98,082. This is the net profit. And this, dear students, is what a student needed to have done to get 10 marks. To get 10 marks. And it is very easy. I encourage you to run through this video again and attempt at least 2 or 3 questions. 2 or 3 questions of a similar nature. You do that and you will be set. I do invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Captain37, and to follow and like my Facebook page, Marketing Study in Zambia. My name is Savoy, and I'll see you in the next video, in which the students needed to have prepared the statement of financial position. Goodbye for now.